impressions of the first day?
Repeat that.
What were your impressions of the first day?
Compete, keep competing. Make sure we run into the ball. Make sure we chasing the ball. Just want to keep that. We want to turn that up or not. It's important we turn that up.
When we were here in the spring, you said and talked about the quarterback battle. You said, "I want to pick quick."
Can you tell them turn it down a little bit? Thank you.
You said, like, I don't have time to be playing games with my team. I want to pick my quarterback quick.
Yeah.
Do you have the same approach this fall, or do you want to keep Tennessee sort of guessing up until game time?
I'm not really worrying about anyone else. I'm just worrying about what's best for our program. So as soon as we feel that it's what's needed for us to have the right guy, the right leader, because both of those guys are leaders, right? And then you got a bunch of young guys fighting for three. So I'm gonna just pick when I'm praying and it's a good feeling and everyone else feels it. It's not just my decision. I make the final decision, but we got a full coaching staff that we all got to make sure that we do what's best for us. So not just for the team or at the moment right there.
Do you sort of treat those guys as even and split up reps as evenly as possible? Is that sort of the approach to start?
It might be 51-49. Like, we got to say Ricky ahead just because he was in it, right? He did it to spring with me, he was around. So I would say 51-49, 52-48, something of that nature. But we got to watch the tape now.
As the quarterbacks battle it out, what are the most important characteristics that you're looking for both on and off the field from them?
It's leadership, doing everything right? How you do anything is how you do everything. Are they living Dart when they're not around us, right? Do they embody that? Is that their way of life? Are they teaching the young guys the same thing? And when I look at them, and as soon as I ask anybody, who do you think is who's a leader on the football team? Everybody just naturally says them, right? So for me, it's just for everybody. That's what I look at. That's what I'm looking for when it comes to a quarterback, right? It's just natural leader.
When you look at last year compared to this year, for yourself, have you looked back at, this is where I need to improve? Like, how do you feel you need to improve coming into this year?
I think everybody's improved. I got to work on me, right? I think I need to work on just being a better leader, being better when it comes to the situations, being better all week, right? Just being able to lock in and help everybody on the team, every coach on the team, athletic trainer. I just got to be able to help everybody so that way we can get everybody's best at all times. I feel like sometimes I was just not. I put certain things before other things, and I think everybody's important, right? Because when you don't think they're important, it's not about what you say, it's how you make them feel. So I just want to make sure that I make everybody feel comfortable to be coached hard, right? You can't just coach hard without making sure they're comfortable, and that's all about relationships, right? I got to keep building relationships with everybody on the team, and for me, that's more about the staff, not necessarily the players. I'm with the players all the time. I want to make sure I do that with the staff, so then they'll do a better job for the players, and it's a trickle-down effect,
Going off that, you mentioned a couple weeks ago that you wanted to be a better listener. I heard you say that at ACC Media Day. How do you think that being a better listener could maybe help you build your relationships with your staff and maybe even win a couple extra games?
You just know who people are, right? You understand a little bit more. Listen, that's why me and my wife are still together, because I listen at the house, right? I don't do more listening than talking, right? So I have to make sure that I just being a better listener, you learn more, and then you can make better decisions, right? And you'll be able to make those decisions during chaotic situations, because I understand I already kind of know what you're thinking, what you're about, because everyone has a voice, right? Your voice might not be the one used for that particular situation at the time, but everyone has a voice. So speak what you have, because you can learn from everybody on the staff. So I ask a lot of stuff from them all. That's up to me to be able to take, use, and apply that information, right? So it just helps you become a better decision maker, and they feel more comfortable coming to you. There's so many bright ideals that young guys don't want to say because they don't want to be turned away or pushed down and doing it. And I just don't want to be that guy when one of them could have been thinking that, but they didn't have the confidence or they didn't have the relationship with me to be able to say that, right? Or even say it to someone else, right? So everybody has a voice. We just might not use your piece at the moment, right? Your opinion may not count at that moment, but we want to hear what you have to say, so we can either rule it out or use it.
It's the second year in a row that the preseason poll has you guys rather low, probably a little too low. What's the motivation behind? How are you using that for motivation this season?
I mean, they're the experts, right? So I'm just gonna be able to just like focus on us, right? I'm just living daily, not really worrying about that. I've been fighting that my entire life. I became the head coach at Syracuse, right? So for me, that's just second nature. That's what I expect. But I used to say only God can judge me. That's not true while I'm on earth. Only his judgment may count, right? But while I'm doing this, they got a job to do, right? And they're just trying to go off of what they have, right? And what they feel. They're getting information and they're making decisions off of the information they get, right? So it's just a piece of it, right? It's a little bit different. That's what they picked us at. So just gonna work, right? To see what happens, right? Either they're gonna be right or wrong. That's the good thing about this thing in life. There is no like, well, it's 50%, 70% chance. Either they right or they wrong. So it's one or the other, right? So we're just gonna work and focus on it.
I saw the burning of the shoes yesterday. What does that symbolize?
The past. Like it symbolized, first off, that was a tradition that was done here. It started from Coach Matt and his guys being able to come in. And when I heard about it, I just thought it was so cool. We got it a little bit different than theirs was. They did it at the end of the year before the bowl. For me, I want to make sure you get rid of last year. You get rid of all the little things that may be going on and just get a fresh start, right? You just get a fresh start. It's like going to see the Father at the church, right? I'm on the other side and I repent, I talk to him about all the things that happened, and now I get a fresh start, right? So for us, we get a fresh start and we're extremely thankful to have that and to be on the same mission all together, all positive. And today we had an opportunity of setting a standard that will rise daily. So we didn't want to think about the past or go through all that. It was just like, guys, this is a first start. We move forward. It's time for us to go. And then just to be able to have Kyle do it, right? Meant a lot. He was here 44 years and retired, so we was able to carry him off and give him a cake for retirement. Like 40, he worked longer than I've been alive. So that was pretty cool to have that and to be able to do that with him. And I got to share a lot of conversations with him. I just asked him about everybody, like, how was this guy? How was that guy? He's like a walking encyclopedia of everything that happened at Syracuse. So it's pretty cool to have him and be able to do that with him. And he said he'll come every year. So it's pretty much a tradition for us that we had to bring back.
Last year you had guys like a Kyle McCord, like a Justin Barron on defense, leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen guys kind of step into that role here early on? You said you relied on them last year a lot early on. Have you seen that this year so far?
Yeah, I think Tank's done a good job. Devin Grant, Deuce Chestnut. There's a lot of guys, and a lot of different guys lead in their own ways, right? Derek McDonald's a leader from a defensive side. On the offensive side, got Gil doing it. Will Nixon, Willis, in his own way, is a good leader actually. On the offensive line, Austin Collins came right in and stepped in and is leading. Spoon's trying to lead those guys. Jonte Cook's already starting to become a leader. Justice Ross is one that's finally letting it go and just saying, okay, I'm gonna do what I need to do, because he's like, you know what I'm saying, he's certified, and we don't know what to say the other word, but he's certified goon, right? That's my guy. So when we get him to truly lead the way we need him to lead, we're gonna be like really there. But there's so many guys that lead in different ways. Demetrius Sanders is a leader just for the freshman alone, just because of what he's doing both ways, right? So there's a lot of guys that lead. Deuce Chestnut, everyone leads in their own way, and we want them to be them, but leadership is earned. You may lead today, but then you BS tomorrow, you're not a leader, right? Leaders do it consistently. Even when they're down, they're consistently leading. So it's a lot to have that, and we're just working on making sure this becomes a player-led team and not just a coach, right? Not just a coach team. So that's what we're working on.
Fran, when you look at the offensive and defensive line, just what you can say about the trenches as we step into this 2025-26?
They working, they get tougher, but we're gonna see when the pads come on, right? I like contact, so it's gonna be about the pads. I know one thing, we're a lot bigger, so we just gotta see, how that's gonna go off of that. But I think it's gonna be some competition going on up there. They're gonna compete, I feel like we're solidified too deep both ways. You got true freshmen competing to play. Byron Washington competing his butt off right now to play. Hoping that works with him. Matt Hahn, who's competing his butt off to get an opportunity to play. Those guys are intelligent, young freshmen, big enough, and they got the mentality to go do it. So we're hoping that this mental capacity, the academics, and everything that goes with it, right here, freshmen play, the academics, the money, the girls, just all of that can keep them focused. So if those two be able to do that, then they'll be good.
We saw Delorier in a green jersey. What's he sort of working through?
Repeat that.
Antoine Delorier was in a green jersey today, non-contact.
He'll be back in a couple days. We just wanted to slow him down for the things that he had with his hammy and all. But he'll be back. He's doing a good job. He was a guy that was running with the first and second group throughout the whole time. So he's a good football player. He'll be back.
Who else are you looking at center besides Collins?
Josh Miller. Josh Miller's already stepped up and done a good job. Right? He's already done a really good job at that. Matt Hahn. Matt Hahn's a J. He can do everything. Right, so Matt's a guy that can do it. Khalil Stewart. We got a couple guys, but we got to go play next week. Josh Miller and Austin Collins. Right, then you got the other guys that you want to be able to throw in. Right, we've been doing a lot with it. Feel really good about Austin and Josh though, man. Those dudes are competing their butt off. Austin's in front right now. They're doing a good job. I'm really proud of them. I'm proud of who Josh Miller's becoming as a man. He's came a long way, guys. He's another guy that's leading now, and now people say, okay, I'm gonna listen to him because he is doing what he's saying. I'm proud of him, man. His mom should be proud of him, and just know that his pop's looking down, watching him, and grandma, your grandson and your son is doing an amazing job.
Coach, not to harp on the quarterbacks.
Let's keep it. You get a lot of questions. Yeah.
Coach, after an impressive first season, you're coming in now with a really tough schedule. Some say that one of the toughest in college football. How do you temper those expectations, or do you feel pressure?
I'm just focused on practice. We got to play no matter who it is. So we're gonna put 11 out. They're gonna have 11. We just got to compete, right, when it's time. But I just focus on practice. I always talked about trying to get ready for when that comes. If I don't focus now and we worry about the schedule and the season, that's just so much more to life than just worrying about an event that you can't be a part of now. So I just try to dominate everything in front of me. Mental toughness is to be where your feet are. So we're just going to be right here.
You mentioned a couple of questions ago, and that's a great question, by the way, from you, about leaving the past in the past. But I've also heard you say quite a few times that a few plays changed last season. You talk about Stanford and those losses. So how do you balance, or I guess, do you find value in still remembering some of those moments, or are you truly leaving that in the past now and moving on to the next season?
I mean, you leave it in the past, but you learn from mistakes and different things that happen. So you don't want to forget those, right? I'll never forget where I grew up at. That's ingrained in me. That's a part of me, right? So I'll never forget how I lost this game that time. Or I'll never forget how that happened. So I keep constantly teaching and reminding, right? And sometimes it's a little piece of hey, yo, we already seen how this go down that road. Let's not even fall down that path, right? Let's not do that. Let's stay on track and be where we need to be at. So I'm not actually necessarily talking about that exact play, but it's just, we already went through that. We passed that. We can't go backwards, right? Because when you do that, now you're going backwards. I want to keep going forward. So let's not let that creep up on us.
Coach Williams had put out a unit of Nikhil, Zach, Austin.
Yeah, I don't really know who's starting and who don't.
I was going to ask if they were starting.
What's up?
How do you feel about those guys, kind of their first
year? Sam again.
Nikhil, Zach, Austin, Cam, and Spoon, that unit. How do you feel about that unit?
You say he had that put out? You just saying that? Because I didn't see that.
He had that. I was over there and he had that unit out.
In the Indy?
Yeah.
It's just Indy. Yeah, I was in Indy today with them. You know I can't play, right?
I know.
I did a couple drills, so I mean, it's just Indy, man. I'm confident with whoever he puts in. He's an expert at what he does. I trust him and Coach Nixon. I trust the offense. So you can see any of those guys in together, to be honest with you. But all those names you said, I'm confident because they put the work in. If they didn't put the work in, I would say I'm not that confident in him. But whoever he put out, I'll be confident in him because I know what we do and I know how we practice and how we work.
When you looked at last year, you had a guy, Kyle McCord, at quarterback, that you knew kind of what system you were going to run with him.
Yeah.
With two guys, does that change the preparation with, only a month, or how do you kind of separate that?
No, we still just got to do what we do. We're going to switch it. There's some things you got to do, but I can't tell my secrets, then they ain't going to be secrets, right? But we're going to have fun. We're going to compete. We're going to do what they can do best to help our offense be able to score points. We'll do what they can do best to help our offense be able to score points. And for us, we're just looking for one more point. Because 1 point's a what?
Win.
Ass whipping. Makes sense? So it's important that we do that. We want to get 1 more point, though. So we just focused on that, and they'll do a good job.
Okay, a couple more points to recruit locally to CBA and CNS. Just what you want to say about the local community. I know you mentioned Matt Hahn a lot here today. Just what your feelings are on the guys that are here in this community.
They're doing a good job. I mean, it's good football here. My son's about to go to CBA. I like it over there a lot. I got a chance to watch the modified team. I think it's just called modified. Got a chance to watch what they do with them, and I can see why these kids are so right. Like Darren Williams is running with 2 and 3s, right? Dante is getting in already because of what they do in high school, right? And Cartier, you see how big he is and the things that he's doing. I think their coach does a good job. He's a little further behind because of when he came a little bit later than them, but I mean, it's good football here. It's my backyard, so we want to get everybody from our backyard, right? You're from here and you're a good football player, we want you to be here. If you are a good football player and it's not meant for you to come here right away, go where you're going to go, then we're going to get you back home, right? Just how it's going to go, but you will finish out being here at Cuse, getting a degree, being successful, and just being a successful man, getting closer.
You're you're well known for Jersey, right? Saw Kyle when he was in middle school or elementary school play quarterback. When did you sort of first see Steve, and like, what do you remember from maybe the first time you saw him play?
I remember him when I was at Rutgers, but he didn't answer the phone. He was acting funny, and I reminded him of that. I said, your punk guys ain't picked the phone up when I was calling you at the other spot. He talked to me one time, and then he never picked up again. But it's the game. I remember him getting the opportunity to go to Notre Dame, and it was really good for our state, for the state of New Jersey. Him having the opportunity of going to do that, go to a prestigious school, being able to do it. So that was a good deal, right? I remember the governor even tweeted something about it when he ended up going there. So that was a good deal for the state, and it was good for him and his family. I just thought he was a good kid. He led that team over there at Bergen, and they did a good job. Their head football coach is a friend of mine, and he's also our quarterback coach's brother, but he's a good friend of mine, and his staff too. I like those guys. I like what they do, so just knowing where he came from a ball. But it was about 11th grade as I first got the opportunity to know who he was.
I think in the spring you guys are working through some eligibility stuff with Jackson Kennedy. How did that turn out? Like, what was the ruling on that?
He's already in the work world. He was able to get a degree. It didn't work out the way we wanted it to work out, but we set him up with some right people and different kids' fathers on our team. I think Ike's father got with him, and we set him up. So it's Syracuse 60 went to play right away. So that was able to help with Jackson and set him up. Man, he's a great kid. Wish him the best. Hope he can come coach with me one day, right? He's really intelligent, high-level, smart guy. So really happy about him and thankful for him that we got a chance to have him for that 1 year. And now I'm happy that he was able to get the degree from Syracuse and already be out in the world flourishing.
You should ask one for Coach.
Fran, looking at the running back room, LeQuint was such a big part of, your offense the whole last year. How have you seen kind of Easton Willis and Will Nixon and other, players in the running back room kind of step into that void that LeQuint left?
I mean, it's hard to really be LeQuint, right? LeQuint was on GOAT all the time, but I think they do a great job at being who they are, But everybody got to be able to do some of the things that he was able to do. LeQuint could run hard, he could catch, he could stay in and block on third down, and those guys are picking it up. That's a part of being able to play for Coach Nixon and Coach Red, right? I think they do a good job with the running back, so they'll have those guys ready. But in reference to us replacing LeQuint, I just want these guys to be the best version of them, to be able to help this team, right? Everybody say, hey, can he replace Kyle? Nope, you can't. We can't replace Kyle. We can't do what Kyle was doing, but we can get these guys to be the best version of themselves, and then that'll help us, right? Everybody got to focus on them and focus here, because I took my phones. I had some black phones last night. They meant a lot to me. I had them a long time, and I just threw it away and burnt it. So last year, guys, I can't do anything about it. And so it's over. It's in the past, and I'm just gonna focus on maximizing Fran, so that way Fran has the ability to equip and inspire every coach and every player on our staff for them to be able to be the best version of themselves, because we got some great people. Last question coming up.
You mentioned that for the strength of schedule, you don't focus too much on what people are saying in the outside world. But I want to know, what is your motivation then? Is it the first game or something else that you're using to motivate your players during camp?
I live for the man above, to be honest. When I just try to think about my motivation, I don't want to let the players down. But I'm a faith-driven, God-fearing man, to be honest. So I got to make sure I maximize myself and get closer to him, and just bring my motivation to get people closer to him. And when you watch me, you can see, damn, I see he focused on his faith. He locked in on where he is. I never, ever, ever gonna forget where I come from. I'm never gonna forget my family and all, but I'm doing everything I can to glorify the man above. And I think if I'm pleasing him the right way, naturally humans should be able to follow.
Thank you, Coach.